Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Dear friends, today I am going to discuss another important topic on multilateral environmental agreement in detail. That is the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Flora and Fauna. If you remember, this is the appendix driven multilateral environmental agreement that we have discussed in my previous lecture, that is the types of multilateral environmental agreements. Okay, in this lecture, we will discuss in detail about this convention, that when this convention was carried out, some background knowledge, some historical development, what are the aims and objective of this convention, and some of the provisions that have been given here in this convention. And especially we will discuss with respect to Pakistan, and when Pakistan have signed this convention, when Pakistan has ratified and adopted this convention, we will discuss in detail. Okay, as far as this convention is concerned, this is one of the biggest and oldest convention. It was considered one of the biggest and oldest convention, and this convention was also known as Washington Convention. Why? Because this convention was convened in Washington DC, the capital of United States of America. That's why this convention is also known as Washington Convention. Okay. Another important point to be noted in this convention is that it is the result of the resolution that was passed by International Union on Conservation of Natural Resources, that is IUCN, in 1963, which was signed in October 1985 and ratified in January 28, 1986. This was drafted as a result of this resolution passed by IUCN. Okay, now we will discuss about why this convention is important. Why? There are certain reasons around the globe. For example, the trade of international trade of some of the endangered species of wild flora and fauna are heavily very high. Illegal trade, exploitation of wild flora and fauna, that is very high. Internationally, this wild trade is estimated to be worth billions of dollars every year. Different countries are earning billions of dollars illegally, and includes hundreds of plants and animal species that are traded. Okay, annually thousands of millions of plants and animal species are being traded illegally. Not only animals and plant species, but also live species of plants and animals that are being traded illegally around the world, around the globe. This is very alarming. To a vast array of products, not only live plants and animals, but also different products that are being derived from these plants and animal species, including food products, exotic leather goods, wooden musical instruments, and medicines, and many more different parts of plants and animals are being traded internationally. That's why the world around the globe, they think that why there should be a convention, there should be a legally binding agreement, there should be some laws and conventions, so that community around the globe will protect this endangered wild plants and animals around the globe. They decided to form such kind of convention in the form of Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Flora and Fauna. Okay, these were the some of the reasons to draft this convention. Okay, now we will discuss about some of the objectives to ensure wild plants and animals doesn't threaten the survival of species in the world through international trade in specimens of wild animals and plants. Okay, this is one of the objective of this convention, that specimens of wild plants and animals should not be traded, it should be stopped. It also occurs varying degree of protection to more than 35,000 species of animals and plants. Okay, this was the another objective of this convention. By ratifying this convention, around about 35 species around the globe of plants and animal species that will be protected. This is the one of the another reason of this convention. Okay, some historical development, as I already told you, that this convention was convenced at Washington DC, United States of America, and it was signed on 3rd March 1973, and it was effective from 1st July 1975. And conditions for this effectiveness for this convention is 10 ratification, at least 10 ratifications are necessary to effective this convention, and 181 countries are so far parties of this convention. Okay, now we will discuss with respect to Pakistan, that when Pakistan has signed this convention, when Pakistan has adopted and ratified this convention. Is in case of Pakistan, it has signed this convention in March 1973, adopted in 3rd March 1973, and Pakistan has ratified this convention in April 1976. Okay, now we will discuss about some key provisions that have been given in this important convention regarding wild flora and fauna. Trade is regulated by authorized licensing system. Okay, number one, that every country should authorized licensing system, and their trade should be regulated some kind of developing some kind of authorized licensing system. Not everyone should be allowed in their country to be traded different kind of endangered species of plants and animals. There should be some proper licensing system, there should be some proper authority that regulate, that manage this trade by developing certain kind of systems. And every country or every party should assign a managing authority and a scientific authority to regulate such trade. This is another important provision, that every country should assign a managing and scientific authority to regulate this kind of trade. And it was estimated that around 5,800 animal species and 30,000 plant species are protected through this convention. This is an estimate that this is important, or this is necessary, that almost 5,800 species of animals and 30,000 species of plants that must be protected through this convention. This is important provision of this convention. Next is that every year there should be a meeting between the parties of this convention, or the countries who have signed this convention. They must meet in conference of parties. This is This is also very important provision of this convention. As I already told you that this is this convention is a type of appendix driven multilateral environmental agreements. So it is important to tell you about the three different types of appendixes here and what are the provisions in each appendix of this convention. In appendix 1, 1200 species threatened with extinction are included and their trade is illegal. Okay, this is the condition in Appendix 1. And 21,000 species not necessarily threatened with extinction but may become so strict regulations on trade according to Appendix 3. This is the condition of Appendix 3. And in Appendix 3, 170 species included on special request of party. Party means the country who have signed this convention. 170 species can be traded on special request. Okay, this is the condition of Appendix 3. And to other members for regulation of trade means between those countries the other country can request to some another country for regulation of trade. These are three appendixes of this convention. Okay, dear viewers, this is all about today's lecture, the convention on international trade in endangered species. I hope you will find today's lecture and informative and fruitful for you. If you think it is valuable for you, please don't forget to subscribe my channel and must press the bell icon so we'll receive the latest updates related to the my upcoming lectures. Thank you for watching.